I think speed, it's one of the L2s that it's well known for, okay, things happen fast and at least happen not in a ultra centralized ways like other solutions that claim to be, extremely fast. Hello, I'm Alex Vinyas. I work at CoW or contributor to CoW, and I work in the business development department and also helping on the product marketing side of things. The ability for us to experiment in real production environment with also real value and kind of high volumes moving to see how we can actually improve the auction time and the whole kind of end-to-end cycle from the moment the user signs the transaction or signs the intent until settlement, and actually how much we're able to convince solvers to integrate these more exotic paths that you see in Arbitrum, for example, with Pendle, with like Bolt or yield-bearing tokens and so on. So it helps us in the kind of experimenting ground, but because it's a real production environment, right, with real values, not kind of testing on Sepolia. The biggest milestone was last year when Uniswap X and 1inch Fusion launched, because when we started CoW back in 2021, right, everyone was calling us crazy. Why are you changing the UX flow of people kind of creating the transaction? Like, this is not going to work. And then 2 years later, kind of, the two biggest players in the DEX space kind of Control-C, Control-V your model and kind of replicate the same thing that you've been building was a good validation for us that we were in the, we were in the right path and we did the right thing. I think one of the things that Arbitrum has helped us is that now we have exposure to a wider community that before we didn't have, because what we've seen is that within the Ethereum world, more or less, at least of the kind of bigger retail or whale kind of people, we're already known and they already use us. But the problem is that when all these layer 2s kind of appeared, right, you had a new set of users that just didn't go through Ethereum. They kind of, or kind of it just was a simple like step by. Like I said, I'm gonna just bridge directly to Arbitrum or whatever. And we were missing kind of the brand exposure to these new users because they just wouldn't do the research. And of course, why are you gonna know about a DEX on Ethereum if you are only trading on Arbitrum? So now, by being deployed on Arbitrum, we have the exposure to also like the gigantic community that Arbitrum has created. What is 100% sure, at least in my opinion, is that the technology is gonna be the backbone of the financial kind of rails of the world, whether they like it or not. I don't know how permissionless or permission is gonna be, but at least 100% is gonna be the backbone. And how does Arbitrum help us get up there? It's a good question. I think the steps that you guys are doing from the kind of like centralized sequencer and like slowly like until everything is ready to move it on a more decentralized, so you can showcase and guarantee that certain conditions are kind of met and done in the right way. There's actually like a lot of good in this technology that can be implemented for the better of the world and for the accessibility of, all the people that currently don't have access to finance. So that's a kind of the ability, right, to transact widely anywhere in the world and fast is super kind of missed on.